Hello, welcome to StatTrek's video tutorial on advanced placement statistics. This lesson covers variables. At the end of the lesson, you will understand what a variable is, and you will learn to identify 4 different types of variables. Along the way, we'll work through examples to illustrate key points. A variable has 2 defining characteristics. First, it is an attribute that describes a person or object. And second, the value of that attribute can vary from one person or object to another. For example, variables that describe a person might include gender, height, hair color, or age. Notice that the value of these attributes can vary. A person could be male or female, 5 feet tall or 6 feet tall, blonde or brunette, 6 years old or 60 years old. Note also that some variables, like gender and hair color, use words to describe a person. Other variables, like age and height, use numbers. Variables that use words are called qualitative variables, and variables that use numbers are called quantitative variables. By the way, qualitative variables are also known as categorical variables. Let's work through an example to make sure the difference between qualitative and quantitative variables is clear. Consider the variable height. Is height qualitative or quantitative? It depends. On one hand, we might say that a person is short or tall. Short and tall are words, not numbers, so in this case, height is a qualitative variable. On the other hand, we might describe the height of a person in inches. Here we use numbers to describe height. So in this case, height is a quantitative variable. There are 2 types of quantitative variables, continuous and discrete. Continuous variables can have any numeric value between their minimum value and their maximum value. Discrete variables can have some, but not all, of the values between their minimum and maximum. A variable that could only have integer values would be an example of a discrete variable. Consider the weight of an amateur heavyweight boxer. The Boxing Association says his weight must be between 81 and 91 kilograms. Within that range, his weight could be any real number, a whole number like 84 kilograms, or a fraction like 88.2 kilograms. Because weight can be any value between its minimum and its maximum, weight is a continuous variable. What about population? Population could be 0 people, 1 person, 2 people, 5 people, or more. But a city could not have a population of 4.5 people. Population can only have integer values. Therefore, population is a discrete variable. Remember, any quantitative variable that can only have integer values is a discrete variable. Let's summarize. A variable is an attribute of a person or object. There are 2 kinds of variables, quantitative and qualitative. Qualitative variables use words. Quantitative variables use numbers. There are 2 types of quantitative variables, continuous and discrete. Continuous variables can have any value between their minimum and maximum. Discrete variables have gaps between the minimum and maximum. Variables that can only have integer values are examples of discrete variables. In case it helps, here is a link to the written version of this lesson. And here is a link to the complete tutorial, which is a mix of written and video lessons that fully cover the AP Statistics curriculum.